Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're gonna play some more Avowed. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do the Shadows of the Past quest. So let's go. Here we are. Alright, speak to Ringgrim and Lodwin. I guess both of them.
Envoy, I hope you found what you were looking for, because those ruins are about to be a distant memory.
I learned something new about my godlike heritage, in fact.
If we want to use the godless term for a godlike of Sapadal, the envoys are Tebaru Sanakis. It's actually a fascinating tradition, going back to
Heresy and lies. I bring you the truth. This is a spring from which the Dream Scourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison we burned out of Fur Messiverno.
The only thing you burned was hope, and I am determined to get it back, even if I must take it from you.
Charming. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dream Scourge. And at Sapadal.
Okay. So what do you know about Sapadal?
An Inquisitor seeks answers, some through interrogation, others through prayer. I've been watching you, Envoy. You, who survived when so many godlike fell. As your mentor, I recognized your potential. I saw what others would miss, what you failed to acknowledge even in yourself. No one has even glimpsed what you truly are. Not as I have. The light that shines from within you is blinding.
She's using the past against you. Don't fall for it.
I even asked the gods what made you so remarkable. And the burned queen opened my eyes to what you are. We knew the chaos of the living lands had an origin. How could I have known that you were its offspring?
So you think you know me, but you're my past, not my future. Or I didn't learn the truth until recently. Man. Alright. These options are all kind of like hard to pick from. The Emperor sent me to fight the Dream Scourge, not your crusade.
Different wars on the same battlefield. There are two plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes. Nothing of the Akita will remain.
We may not burn out the Dream Scourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out, bury the fire, but still they rage.
Is her first instinct always to destroy stuff and hope that fixes things?
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far.
Alright, so it sounds like Ringgrim has an idea. So, what do you propose, Ringgrim?
I do love it when people choose to listen to reason. I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me.
Alright. Go ahead. Tell me your plan.
Yes. Honestly, it's quite simple. I can sever the connection between the Adra in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the dream-scourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwig from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins.
So what's the catch?
I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, there is a catch. It's also what you may call a large one. Severing the Adra will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
Gentle sleep. One moment day, the next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
What does Rimgrim mean, Yatsley?
Well, in layman's terms, she's going to rip the essence out of a bunch of people in Shatterscarp. For what it's worth, her theory is sound. She could stop the Dream Scourge. In Shatterscarp, at least.
What do you mean by a few deaths?
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios. There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dream Scourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
Ringrim is one of the smartest people alive. If she says this is the way, it's hard to argue. No matter how much we might want to.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
I guess, do you even hear yourself?
I'm not the only rational voice in this debate. She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dream Scourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the Dream Thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwig's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more.
Alright, I think, yeah, I'm gonna say this. Ending the Dream Scourge is all that counts, no matter the cost.
Unfortunate, but such is the reality of our situation.
So long as the Dream Scourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something.
Yo.
I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her, even myself. And I did so, gladly. Sapadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice.
Sapadal is the steward of this land. They have its best interests at heart.
Look at the consequences of their stewardship. Plague, calamity, death. The Living Lands deserves better. Envoy, we have an obligation to scour Sapadal from the Living Lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Sapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Sapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
What an amateur. She accuses Sapadal of what she intends to inflict on you. Don't fall for it.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good?
This is kind of how I feel like it. Is there a better option? Neither of your solutions is acceptable.
Perhaps not. But one of these solutions will bring an end to the matter in Shatterscarp. Remember the village and the statue it couldn't repair. Remember the lesson I tried to teach you. None of our lives matters. Not when they might cost us the future. Now choose, Envoy. Destroy the ruins and the Dream Thralls, but allow the plague to keep spreading. Or sever the Adra and end the plague in Shatterscarp, with an unknowable number of casualties.
She toys with you with innocent lives, while I offer only the truth.
Damn. I guess we'll end the spread of the Dream Scourge.
Oh, what a relief. You really scared me there, Envoy.
I don't like our options, but maybe we can learn something from this one.
So be it. Sapadal's hold over you is stronger than I suspected.
Prune, strengthen the living leaves. We twine.
Attune your soul to Sapadal to assist my focus on the Adra. You're the only one who can do that part. And Yatsley, come, help me. I think you'll enjoy this.
Marines, Ed Marslante.
I am delighted to have been right about you. I was hoping you'd have the cold logic I wanted to see. We've dealt with the Dream Scourge, but you'll still have some cleaning up to do. Now that I know this was all because of a new god flailing in their cage, the Living Lands is no longer of interest to me.
So you're not interested in Sap at all?
Another god. There are so many. If a new one is more aberrant than another, does it really matter? But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsley. Few can harness so much essence with ease. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit, which is good because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping, and rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously, Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing! But, I have to think about it. At the very least, the envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
This is the chance of a lifetime, Yahtzee.
Don't worry. My work will still be here when you're done with your godlike's quest. Whatever you decide. It will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Ringgrim? Ugh.
I don't trust this heathen magic.
Alright, so now we gotta go talk to Temerty? Make it. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. What was I thinking? I thought there was like a river, or I thought I could make it to the water. That's hilarious. I just killed myself for no reason.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Ringgrim? No progress without sacrifice. This magic makes my skin twitch.
Ah, a fellow traveler.
You insist!
Bastards! Who goes there? There in the eye!
Came on, yes.
Oh, there he is. Come on, Chico. You can do this.
3 dozen dead, of no apparent causes. They just fell over. Like their hearts were stopped in their chest. What did you do, Envoy? I know you're involved somehow.
Damn it. She knows. Sometimes we must make sacrifices for the greater good.
Sacrifices? Is that what you want to call it? Such a pretty word for so much death. Dozens are dead, Envoy. Their loved ones scream for them. What was all this for?
To stop the Dream Scourge from taking more lives.
The costs were too great, Envoy. And you paid them with third-born blood. I hope your fucking decisions haunt you forever. You've cost so many families their loved ones.
Alright, well, I'm gonna need your help to let me go through here.
You have my permission to go anywhere else. Get out of my sight, Envoy.
Well, sheesh. Alrighty. Alright, our dreams divide us still. Enter Gallowayne's tusks. So, we're on the other side of the town now, I guess. Time to move through. I guess we could make camp right here.
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why.
So, we can either say, I'm here to stop the Dream Scourge Kai, or we can be like, we don't trust Lodwin. This is probably the best answer I've had for a minute, bro. This game hasn't given me very good options.
So because you don't trust her, you'll throw your lot in with something clearly worse?
You saw what she did to my home. Do you think she'll be merciful to yours?
Ludwig's a monster. But how can you say Ringgrim's any less of one?
Ringgrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dream Scourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
But maybe you're right. If the cost is choices like these, perhaps it's better to trust our fates to the will of the gods. And the gods.
Oh, Naivosta, fuitu meyu. Damned if I'm leaving my fate in the hands of a blessed magical authority figure. God, Archmage, or anyone else.
Agreed. If the gods cared enough to intervene, they would have. No, we're on our own. We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
Alright. Let's just get some rest, I guess. Oh man, we're gonna have to talk to everybody. Alright. So, let's see if we can upgrade anything.
Never thought I'd be going back to Galawain's tusks.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did, what I did. Usually, I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though, at least they will be free of the Dream Scourge. I just wish we'd had a better way of achieving that. Things have been unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Akedans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers.
I'm glad you're excited.
Of course. Though I sense that you're not fully aware of just how amazing this all is, so I'll let you wait back at the camp like a good little boy. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. Don't let the bedbugs bite, dearie. I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master Illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her. She even offered to make me her apprentice.
Yeah, seems like she's a big deal to you, bud.
As smart as you are, Envoy, I sometimes forget that you are still a layperson. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the Godless? I've spent my whole life with them.
Why not do it all?
I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do?
I wouldn't leave my man.
That is a fate worse than death. They'll need someone to help them build a new home for the Animancers. And maybe, if I was there, I could at least make sure our tea house has enough stock to keep Monto happy. Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me.
Okay. Kai's all pissed off at us.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what happened in Emerald Stair. I know your Emperor sent you here to represent Adir, but the Steel Garrote raising Fjord has gotta make things harder for you.
Yeah, you could say that again.
I mean, for you, personally. The cruelty we saw, it's hard to reconcile that with the place you've called home. I just wanted to know how you're feeling about all this.
My mission hasn't changed. Feeling has no place, or I still believe Adir can be a force for good. Besides, my people deserve a chance here.
You'd think this island's big enough, wouldn't you? Anyway, I just want to check in with you. This may be your burden, but you don't have to carry it alone. What's on your mind?
Alright, that's it. Should be with him.
I'll be here if you...
Oh no, he still has more to say.
I've been meaning to talk to you about Kotoa and Hayako. Right. I didn't think it was possible to talk them down, but you managed it. And you saved more than their foolish hides.
So what do you mean?
Those two fought for Rawatai in the Deadfire. They learned how to disrupt enemy movements and destroy supply lines. They'd have nipped and poked at your comrades at Eagle's Reach until Adir finally snapped back. At Thirdborn, most likely. All while the two of them remained secure and defended in their tower.
I can't fault anyone for defending their home.
Nor I, but this goes beyond defense. Thirdborn's under threat, but if loose cannons like them fire at everything that moves, they'll draw even more trouble to our walls.
They lash out like cornered animals, giving the Steel Garrote a reason to fight back. Not that they need a reason.
Still, better not to give them one.
Maybe the warning shots will keep trouble away.
You really think any amount of chest thumping would turn away Ludwig and the Steel Garrote? Or the full force of the Adiran army if it came to that?
You never know.
I think we both do. The Living Lands is changing. We've got more ships coming to port every year. If it's not Adir, it'll be someone. I can take watch. I'll be up a while anyway.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Adra?
It's a rock that has something to do with the passage of souls.
Not bad. Adra is a physical manifestation of a metaphysical phenomenon. A mineral that takes our souls from death to rebirth. We severed the Adra and Naku Kubel to slow down the Dream Scourge. But at what cost?
Do you think there will be unintended consequences?
That would be putting it lightly. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Adra pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries.
So what I'm hearing is Shatterscarp is going to have a ghost problem.
Possibly. Probably. Eventually. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves.
Yeah, me too.
We'll get there eventually. Just need to wade through the bullshit first. Right now we're up to our necks, but it can't keep rising forever. That's what I tell myself anyway. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question?
Go ahead.
Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual?
Maybe it's because she doesn't trust Sapadal.
But what about you, her kinsman? When you rejected Ludwig's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Maybe she never has. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. Thanks for talking.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries.
No one's been there?
No one I'm aware of. Legend says the founder of Solace went there once, but there's no proof. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows?
Okay. It's worth it to me.
And that's all that matters, I guess. Let's go. Anyway, pleasant dreams. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means exactly.
It seems that I am worthy of speaking with Sapadal.
Huh. I mean, weren't you talking to them already? It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that. But I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway, thanks for talking. Listening to Yatsley's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else.
You don't trust her?
Well, don't you think it's a little convenient? You need to go somewhere no one ever goes, and here she is to show you the way. If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then.
We have to find a way to the garden, and this is our best chance.
The best chance we found so far, sure. I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it.
Worse places than a hot, barren land filled with chasms and sinkholes.
At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders.
Spiders. Are you afraid of spiders?
No, why would I be? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin.
Alright, we'll be fine.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway, not before I've done some reading.
Alright, we're good. We can finally go. I think I'm gonna do these two again.
How could they, beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs? We blessed the Tabaru and they prick us in return.
You harmed innocents, of course they're furious.
Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many.
As long as you promise this is the past.
The moon waxes from darkness. A new turn. New memories. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn. We could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us.
As long as our goals are pointed the same way.
Freedom from the garden. A lamp to light our way. Sleep now of golden poppies on the road ahead.
I must have done 100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much thirdborn blood under them.
Ready. On to the objective.
Watch your back out here, traveler.
Ludwig may have a skull for a face, but her fury was clear enough. If her path crosses ours again, it'll be ugly.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And I plan on hunting her like a rat.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
Alright, let's not get wound up in the personal opinions. We have to focus on the battle ahead.
Right. Focus, people. Try not to think about how we're up against a dead woman who threatens the entire living lands.
Yeah. Instead, think about the soul-corrupting plague that also threatens the living lands.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate.
I can deal with her if I have to.
I believe it. And we'll cross that bridge with you when we get to it.
Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power. But we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka.
Do you know something we don't?
Generally, debatable, but about the garden, definitely. You won't find a blessed a thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a page raku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will.
I want to find the cause for the Dream Scourge, and the garden is our best clue.
And all your clues come from one source. You've been following a voice in your head. What do you know about Sapadal? How do you know you can trust them?
They're not just in my head. They have a powerful connection to the Adra here.
I hate to be the voice of reason, but we are talking about a god. There are limits to what we can even comprehend.
I have a powerful connection to my Blessed Flute, but I'm not about to take orders from it.
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so.
Is there something you're not telling us?
You're not listening to what I am telling you. I'm done here. Do whatever Blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Some things really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
I'll go talk to him again.
Be gentle with him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, I'm tired of your Blessed attitude. Get over it. Well, you know what? So am I. So just let me be alone for a bit.
I want to know what got you so upset.
How should I know? I don't know what's going on in my head half the time. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat. My ears ring. I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying.
Did something happen to you there?
I guess a lot of things happened to me there. I grew up there in Solace, and I left there on purpose. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.